Hello guys, the Fire Brothers here. It's just me and wow, I just came from college and my professor was absent. So yeah, I stayed in my college an extra hour waiting for class to start, only for me to go to class and then have some guy tell me that the classes are cancelled today because my teacher decided to send us a message that the classes are cancelled 10 minutes before the class starts. Which is not very professional, but I'm rambling on and this has nothing to do with the topic, so now we're gonna go to the actual topic. So I was in college, just hanging out in the library, watching YouTube videos because I have nothing better to do with my life. And then I saw Laszlo Ben. You guys probably already know about him. He's one of the biggest Transformers YouTubers around. But that's not the point. So when I saw his video, it said Beast Wars concept art, and I was like thinking, is this like fan art? Because he does this sometimes. Sometimes he does fan art and this looks very legit. I think this is legit. We got 3 new Beast Wars official concept art. And I guess you could say this episode is kind of a part 2 to the previous episode I did, talking about why Hasbro is slowly reintroducing Beast Wars. So this video is gonna add to that. So check that video, come back, or don't check that video. Like you can do whatever you want. It's a free country. Alright, so for the first concept art, we got a Cybertronian snake. Now, do you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Quick Strike from Transformers Beast Wars. Now Quick Strike was a fuser, and this does not look like a scorpion. It could be just some random Predacon, but the fact that they made a snake, it reminds me of, you know, Quick Strike. And for the second one, we got this other snake. I think that's a snake, and it's really big in comparison to a human. It reminds me of the Driller Beast from Dark of the Moon. And last but not least, we got another primal concept art, this time showing a little bit more of the face and a bit more detail. It's a little more different than the previous one we have, but in total we got the snake, we got the extra primal faces, we got the older snake, and we got the, you know, previous Beast Wars concept art with primal in it. So that's like 5 pieces of Beast Wars concept art, and I gotta say, it's a lot. And something interesting here is that it's made by the same artist, so maybe it was just his idea to have a Beast Wars thing. But now here, this one, the snake doesn't have any credit to it, like we cannot see a name or anything. If all of these 5 drawings are made by the same guy, it doesn't really mean anything. Then it just means that, oh, one guy just wanted to see Beast Wars. That doesn't mean that Hasbro or Michael Bay wanted that to happen. But still, but let's pretend it was all done by the same guy. I'm assuming it's the same guy because I see a lot of similarities in the art style, since it's very 3D-ish between all of them. So I'm gonna assume it was done by the same guy. What this means basically is that all of this concept art that was made, it could be later down the line be recycled and used for a Beast Wars movie. Now whether that's gonna happen soon, it's not really clear. It's interesting that we're seeing so many Beast Wars, you know, concept art from the official production. Like, that's something big. This means that at least they're taking Beast Wars into consideration, or at least some of the people at the production are aware of Beast Wars. Now, since Hasbro has this annoying tendency to reuse toy models, to repaint stuff, they just like recycling. Let's just leave it at that. There's a strong chance that they might revisit all this concept art and use it for a Beast Wars movie later down the line. Now, whether this is gonna happen or not, it's really unknown and I cannot really tell. But it's good to see that they're taking at least Beast Wars into consideration. And on top of that, in the new Transformers Force to Fight update, guess who just joined the roster? Dinobot, a Beast Wars character. Coincidence? I think not. The fans are gonna see the concept art. I mean, we're clearly seeing it right now. So in a way, they're telling us that, you know, they're kind of testing the waters. They're not really gonna, you know, go after Beast Wars right now, but they might in the future. I'm guessing this is more like a beta test. Like, it's not meant to tell us outright that they're gonna do Beast Wars, but they're slowly warming us to the idea of Beast Wars, of it coming back. But that's just my opinion. What do you guys think of the concept art? Honestly, I think the concept art looks amazing. We can see 2 Predacons and 1 Maximal because, you know, blue eyes, red eyes. Well, the snake kind of has blue eyes, but we're not gonna count it. Well, we can't really see it, but you can see some blue on him, so we can assume he's a Maximal or Predacon. But yeah, in comparison to the human size, these animals are huge. Can you imagine a Beast Wars movie where the animals are just huge instead of you know, relatively small? In the original Beast Wars, the Maximals and Predacons were like a whole lot smaller than a full-size G1 Autobot. It's gonna be kinda weird, but then again, it wouldn't be the first time the movies kinda changed something. So what do you guys think? Do you guys believe that Beast Wars is coming up soon? Do you guys think this is a coincidence or not? And more importantly, this was released a couple of days after I released my Beast Wars episode. Hasbro's watching. Hasbro, sponsor me.